Hello and welcome to Frontrunner Motorsport. For the first time ever, Formula 1 had a gala event to launch all the new liveries for the 2025 season and to celebrate 75 years of Formula 1 history. A big live event at the O2 Stadium in London. Was this something Formula 1 needed, or yet another bad idea to add to the pile? I have to admit, I'm probably the wrong person to talk about this sort of thing. I hate award ceremonies, or really any kind of pointless pomp and circumstance. But I can look at who I think this whole show was for, and maybe it would be a positive surprise. You could do a lot with an event like this, and it's our first real taste of Formula 1 in 2025. The off-season has been very quiet, no Gunther Steiner sackings, or Christian Horner controversies to keep us going. Even the Max versus George feud dried up quicker than my enthusiasm for this nonsense. I'm not going to be talking about the liveries, at least not individually. I'll save that for my livery review in a couple of weeks' time. So make sure you subscribe and let's take a look at the 2025 Formula 1 livery launch live event. You knew from the moment Machine Gun Kelly started playing that this was all put together by a group of people not in touch with the motorsport community, nor anyone who liked anything relevant from the last couple of decades. I lived in a blissful universe where I had completely forgotten Machine Gun Kelly existed. What would be perfect for Formula 1 fans? I don't know. How about a rendition of The Chain by Fleetwood Mac? A song that is iconic to Formula 1. And then Jack Whitehall walks out. Fun fact, I saw Jack Whitehall live before he was a constant on television. I saw him as the support act for Simon Amstell. And yes, I don't know why I paid to see Simon Amstell live. It was dark times, and living in Woking, there wasn't really much else to do. Whitehall was fine, pointing out all the drivers, only some of whom looked happy to be there, and Charles Leclerc looking a bit too much like Harry Potter for my liking. Then we had our first reveal, and as Jack Whitehouse had already pointed out, the biggest problem with this whole idea, i.e. this is a massive livery reveal event where none of the car's liveries are really any different to last year. Steak Sauber still went all out with the video package for a car that looks near identical to last year, and then they had to give the mics to the drivers and the team principals, and well, it was thankfully brief. This is not a charismatic bunch of drivers. Next up was Williams, and this was just sad, as the video package showed their past successes and of course footage of Frank Williams, and then the tagline that was then, this is now. Now we barely finish in the top 10 and haven't won a championship for 28 years, and counting. RB had the worst video package. It was just some guy going around and pretending to ask members of the public what they thought about Formula 1 and if they could name the Red Bull B team. As these failed actors stammered out these awful scripted lines like, "Can you sum up your feelings for Formula 1 in 2025 in one word? Can't wait." I now genuinely hate this team and everything they stand for. And all the jokes about how they keep changing their name just make me realise this formerly Minardi squad has really gone downhill in my eyes. V-Carb, try harder. Also went heavy on the short jokes.
But where all the guys are really short?
Nah, not necessarily. I mean, we've got Yuki and Isaac, and they're about 6 foot combined.
All right, fellas, bring it in. Short kings assemble. Come on, I know you got little legs. Yuki, you're going to need to work double time because of them little legs. Bring it in. Love it, man. Short and sweet, which is also Yuki's hinge bio.
I mean, really, really overboard. This was just painful. You have one of the best talents to come out of Japan ever, and he's been overlooked for a promotion to the Red Bull team. Already down, and now his team have essentially hired this guy to come in and give him a few more kicks. Hey Yuki, remember when you said retard on the radio and you weren't clear what it meant? This is what that means. At this point, it was getting pretty tough to watch, and the knowledge we had 7 more teams to go wasn't helping. I had to walk away and take a little break, which meant watching several hours of Mystery Science Theatre as a palate cleanser.
It's all part of a new program we like to call Deep Hurting. Deep Hurting.
When I came back, it was of course no longer live, so I could skip bits I didn't feel like watching. So, sorry country music star Kane Brown, don't know who you are, and don't care. Haas were next, they're just getting started apparently. I look forward to seeing where in the lower half of the championship they'll finish in 2025. Alpine's reveal was just a bad music video, and it was at this point I realised the only thing I liked was the video packages in between reveals, but they were nothing special, nothing you don't see a million people make on YouTube every day. Aston Martin's reveal was definitely the coolest, leaning into the Bond heavily, although with Lance Stroll at the team, Johnny English might have been more appropriate, but I did like Stroll and Alonso coming out of the crowd and removing their helmets. But then followed a look at the F1 movie, which is just going to be awful, and it looks even worse than the last time I saw the trailer. Moving on. Mercedes went with some kind of racing interpretive dance that could have been interesting if they got Kraftwerk involved, but they didn't. Gordon Ramsay talking about the swearing ban was fun, followed by Red Bull unveiling the same livery they've had for the last 20 years, and no driver interviews, which was either a corporate choice or Max protesting. Hard to tell these days. Onto Ferrari, and the Enzo tribute was touching, and the Ferrari team have the most history of anyone with Formula 1 to celebrate, and of course a shiny new 7-time world champion to show off. It was a little shocking that the Ferrari reveal was one of the more reserved. Then McLaren. Great to see the old cars, great to see Brundle doing the interview. Really bored at this point, skipped take that. As enticing as suicide is, today was not the day. So that was the Formula 1 livery launch event. Was it terrible? Yes, but it could have been worse. Not exactly glowing praise. The Hindenburg disaster could have been worse. It was still a pretty big disaster. But I will say the live crowd were very much up for this. Most of the drivers looked like they were having fun, even if Max Verstappen looked like he'd rather be anywhere else. It was a big, dumb, over-the-top event, with some nice nods to Formula 1 history, but it's not something I would ever watch again, and I hope it's a one-time only thing, and not the future of the sport. Honestly, the fact they made all the teams reveal their liveries at the same event is fine. Formula 1 teams could make a bigger deal out of livery launches, but they don't, so it's just fine. I just wish it was geared more towards motorsport than the casual audience. Have an event at Silverstone, get classic cars from Formula 1's history involved somehow, a one-make race with the drivers and team principals, and then a big live show in the night with the music and comedy host. They could have done something like that, but they didn't. A non-championship Formula 1 race would be great, a real nod to something from Formula 1's past. It would be expensive, but then so was this whole event. Obviously, I can complain about the music choices, but if it was up to me, then John Otway and Wild Willie Barrett would play them on, and then we'd get some Stiff Little Fingers and Butthole Surfers to close out the evening. It would be to my tastes, but not to anyone else's. As an event that happened, even with the complete lack of new liveries, it was fine. Tedious, but fine. I did enjoy the FIA getting booed. That was good. I just hope they don't ever do it or anything like it again. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Did you enjoy the Formula 1 livery show? Did you find it completely unwatchable? What would you like to see instead? Make sure you subscribe for more motorsport. Members only content is available if you so wish. Thank you very much for watching, and have a good one.